final session already. You are listening to the IBGR.network, and IBGR is our call sign as a radio station. But we are more than a radio station. We are a network. I am your host, Jan Robberts, Global Influencer, and this is episode 6, Entrepreneurs and Leadership in our P1PEOPLE lane, People Skills for Success at IBGR.network. So go to our website at IBGR.network and download the show notes. I was just informed that I was a little bit quiet. Now that's not like me. I hope you can clearly hear me now. I've made some technical adjustments. And for our final session, we're going to talk about 10 tips for becoming a better leader. And I hope you get an idea by now that, leadership is actually important in every area of life. And we are all leaders anyway. And for that to happen more clearly, and this is a whole different subject, but it starts with self-leadership, and self-leadership starts with self-development. And I'm also a personal development freak. Somebody called me one time, or several people, which I see as a compliment. But there is a lot to it, and you need to grow through life every single day. You need to become intentional as a person, intentional as a leader, intentional as an entrepreneur, and you need to grow yourself every single day. And these are the skills that are most often put to the side because they're so business getting your product or service out of the door, and you forget about all these kind of things. But here we go, 10 tips for becoming a better leader. Oh, I've already been told that my voice is better now. Yes, louder, please, louder. I don't want to shout at you, but I want to talk with you. 10 tips for becoming a better leader. How would you describe a strong leader? Well, in one study, leadership qualities such as assertiveness, adaptability, intelligence, and conscientiousness were cited as the most important. Now, you see, I had to read this first because I could never do that first time around. I would have had my tongue twisted in the back of my throat somewhere. But transformational leaders are positive, empowering, and inspiring. They value followers and inspire them to perform better. So what you can do to embrace these values, leadership qualities, and become a stronger and more effective leader. Funny you should ask that. That's why we're going to go through this. And, you hear titles like authentic leaders, transformational leaders, relational leaders, all this kind of stuff. But, it's all about influence. I said it earlier on, it is all about influence. But transformational leaders are usually described as enthusiastic, passionate, genuine, and energetic. These leaders are not just concerned about helping the group achieve its goals. They also care about helping each member of the group reach his or her full potential. Now, consider some of these following 10 tips on how to become a better leader, and think about ways that you can implement these strategies in your daily life. So, the first one is start by understanding your leadership skills. Understanding your current leadership style is essential. And that is something more that, that can be done with doing a personal assessment. As I said, I'm a behavior analysis consultant, and I do so many of them. And you need to find your leadership style. And within that personal assessment, we also talk into your leadership strengths. See, what are your strengths? Which areas do need improvement? And one way to start assessing your skills is to take a leadership quiz or a leadership style. As I said, take one of those behavior analysis programs. And I can help you there because I do them all the time. I'm a DISC certified consultant and trainer. So it'll give you a general idea of how to lead. So once you've completed this, you can read about your major characteristics of your dominant style, and are these qualities helping or hindering your leadership. Once you've determined which areas need some work, you can begin looking for ways to improve your leadership abilities, as well as when you have some weaknesses that you can delegate to other people, because you don't need to do it all yourself. Initially, yes. But initially work on your strengths, and if there is other stuff that you need to work on, that some of you develop your strengths and work on some of your weaknesses that are necessary. If they're not necessary, leave them alone. The second one is encourage creativity. Intellectual stimulation is one of the leadership qualities that define transformational leadership. See, followers need to be encouraged to express their creativity. Effective leaders should offer new challenges with ample support to achieve these goals. See, one way to foster creativity is to offer challenges to group members, making sure that the goals are within the grasp of their abilities. See, the purpose of this type of exercise is to get people to stretch their limits, but not become discouraged by barriers to success. It's actually a book, and it's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of... No, it's actually that's an amazing book, the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, but there's also the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, and I've done a whole video series on it for people who don't necessarily like reading, and give them things that they need to do so they work through it. It's 15 videos, but it actually has a law of the rubber band in there, which actually talks about how a rubber band, once stretched, will never go back to its original, but that's the general one, but the main one here is, a rubber band is no good until it's stretched. So be that rubber band, stretch yourself. The third one is serve as a role model. Well, idealized influence is another one of the 4 key components of transformational leadership. See, it exemplifies behaviors and characteristics that they encourage in their followers. They walk the walk and talk the talk, and that's very important. If you're listening, how often have you seen people saying, I hope my children never start smoking, and they stand in the doorway with a cigarette in their mouth, and those kind of examples. People do as you do, not as you say. So as a result, group members admire these leaders and work to emulate these behaviors. And research has shown this very clearly, that leaders are able to foster a specific belief. And if you want to become a better leader, work on modeling the qualities that you would like to see in your team members. The fourth one is be passionate. Would you look to someone for guidance and leadership if they did not truly care about the goals of the group? Of course not. Great leaders are not just focused on getting group members to finish tasks. They have a genuine passion and enthusiasm for the projects they work on. And we come back to it. Number 5, listen and communicate effectively. Another important quality of leadership involves a focus on providing one-on-one communication with group members. And it is effective when leaders are able to communicate their vision to followers who then feel inspired and motivated by their vision. And then have positive attitude. Well, leaders have an upbeat, optimistic attitude that serves as a source of inspiration for followers, and that's good leaders. If leaders seem discouraged or apathetic, members of the group are likely to become uninspired. See, even when things look bleak and your followers start to feel disheartened, try to stay positive, because Napoleon said a long time ago, leaders are sellers of hope. So what are you selling? Then we've got encourage people, number 7, to make contributions. Let the members of your team know that you welcome their ideas. And those that encourage us are absolutely much better leaders. And then we go to 8, which really talks into this, motivate your followers. Great leaders actually provide inspirational, motivational to encourage their followers to get into action. And of course, being inspirational isn't always easy. Fortunately, you don't need motivational speeches to rouse your group members. Number 9, offer rewards and recognition. So another important quality of good leaders involves knowing that offering effective recognition and reward is one of the best ways to help followers feel appreciated and happy. It may also come as no surprise that happy people tend to perform better at work. And, it's not always about a monetary reward, it's about recognition, much more so. They say recognition, babies cry for it, grown men die for it. And that is worth remembering that, that little thing, well done. And if you do it in public in front of others, it means even more. And keep trying new things. Who says leadership is a one-way relationship? So as you work towards developing some of these leadership qualities, don't forget to look to your followers for feedback and inspiration. Pay attention to the things that have been effective in the past and always be on the lookout for new ways to inspire, motivate and reward group members. Now I hope there is so much more, people, there's so much more I can talk about, but I hope this gives you some idea how important leadership is in entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial leadership is where it's at. And whether you're on your own at the moment or whether you're building a group of people, whether you're building a team, whether you're enlarging your business, you need leadership training all the time, and it starts with personal development. I hope it is clear, and if you want more, connect with me. I do personal development, mindset training and all those kind of things, but I hope it talks into you. But now what's coming up next? Because don't go away after this, we're nearly at the end. See, we have some more exciting shows coming up today from amazing hosts in this primetime region. And it's starting with Tina Obugo from Nigeria, who's on next on the hour. That's in 3 minutes. She's on from Nigeria. Then my amazing partner, Arthi Moore, is on straight after that from South Africa. And then Sadiqa Kebi from Lebanon. I mean, this is a truly intercontinental and international group of stunning people with amazing content. Don't miss it. So, whether you are a CEO of a large corporation or a small business owner, whether you are running your local business group or sports club, whether you are a mompreneur or someone wanting to intentionally grow and reach your God-given potential, I can certainly help you. I will assist you in your organization to discover the challenges in leadership and communication and discuss effective global and local solutions for you. We also deliver a sustainable development program for your entire organization, as well as provide amazing personal assessments for more effective connections at work and at home. My services include coaching, training, facilitation, and energetic keynotes, as you might have guessed by now. How can you connect with me? Well, we've got some websites, www.keyleadershipinstitute.com, www.jrspeakersclub.com, or you can find all my details at the ibgr.network site. So, you've been listening to ibgr.network, the International Business Growth Radio Network. I am your host, Jan Robberts, and I look forward to be with you at the same time, same place next week when I will be talking about influencing the outcome, the meeting before the meeting. Now, I just want you to remember, you are absolutely amazing. Stay with us for our next few hours when we have got some great speakers, some great hosts in this session. Don't go away, but remember, you are indeed amazing. We'll see you next week. Take care.